Oh, can make this a quick stream mostly because like I have a bunch of work to do tomorrow, so for once, having an early start time. Dang, that's rare for me. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good night. Hope you're doing well. What else is there to say? Main goal tonight is just to get a bit of sketching done. Hopefully getting the line work done for this piece. And then hopefully moving on to the shading afterwards. It'll all depend. Just gotta work fast, see how much I can do in 20 minutes. What else is there? I guess in other news, good wrestling tonight. AW had their show from what, Champaign, Illinois or something like that. Already building up to All Out, which is going to be happening over Labor Day weekend? Yeah. Or at least like American Labor Day weekend, give or take. So far, pretty impressed with how they're booking Ricochet. Like, the nice thing about AEW is that they'll always acknowledge, like, past history and stuff like that. Especially for wrestlers who've done work on the indie scene. So, with people like, Bryan, or Nigel McGuinness, or like, hell, Will Ospreay at the moment, there's so many stories to be told there. And they really capitalize on that through, their introduction of Ricochet. So Ricochet was basically in WWE for quite a few years, ever since, I want to say 2016's Cruiserweight Classic, was it? Yeah. Or is he there before that too? Regardless, no, Ricochet went to NXT. He wasn't, I don't think he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, that's my bad. But Ricochet has been on a weird career trajectory. In WWE, he didn't really have... Like, he had moments, but he didn't really have stories to go along with it. And maybe that's partly because WWE was more focused on character rather than work rate at that time. Work rate meaning, like, the actual actions that you do inside, like, the squared circle, versus, you know, getting your character over through talking segments, interviews, you know, backstage segments, that sort of thing. And, how do you put it? Nothing wrong about that, it's just that when you're in that environment, it only allows certain talents to flourish. Like, it's great, environment for people who can talk well, like The Miz, Bray Wyatt, who else could talk well? LA Knight, that sort of thing. But with AEW, they focus definitely a lot more on the athleticism. So you'll see a lot more, I won't say like extreme matches. It feels like there's at least one every 2 weeks or so. And they also give a lot more time for the matches to breathe as well. Like, it's rare, aside from squash matches, to see matches that are less than like 10 minutes or something like that. So I'm really hoping that Ricochet gets his chance to shine, especially against facing other high flyers such as like Pac, Will Ospreay, of course. It's too bad about the Lucha Bros, but there's still people like Hologram, Roosh is still there. Yeah. Omega, once he gets back and gets healthy. Really hope he pulls through after that, like, after healing through that diverticulitis. Anyways. So let's go ahead and get sketching. So here's how things went last time. I've turned down the transparency so that I can focus on the line work over here. Honestly, I could just skip that step and go straight to... what's the proper term for it? And go straight to doing the, like, the negatives. I could also do color. Let me just double check how my fauna one turned out. It's been a while since I've seen it. The fauna one turned out pretty well, I think. So I think what I need to do is actually, there's one other style I can use though. Hold on. When Nerif was putting up their community post, they used a certain art style. Whoops. Community post. Yeah, there we go. So this one only uses 2 colors to it, gold and that dark blue. So I could do something similar, keep it simple like that. Don't need to go too overboard with it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and use... Would white and blue make sense? To be honest, I don't know how I feel about the lips at the moment, whether to keep them realistic like that or to keep it like anime style. Oh, I'll figure it out. Oh. Everything else can get highlighted though. Hair's gonna appear a bit rougher like that. That's okay. Longer hairs go down like that. What else is there? These go like that. And then this area will be lit up and this area will be darkened. Have to do that later. Kind of surprised, like when I was looking at that 3D model about how far back they placed the ear. Hadn't really encountered that before. Like, has it always been that way, where ears kind of get pulled back to the side that far? Let's see what else is there. Oh, at the very least. Oh, the neck is going to be a little bit different now. I hope that's okay. I really need to have more confidence in my lines like that. Like making them straight. Oh, too much. Really? Why is that part so sensitive? There we go. Da-da-da. So this part will cross down there. This back over here will cross down here. And this part over here will be the lighter, or the highlights, I guess. Although, I wonder if I really need that at the end of the day. I should probably be using bolder lines for this. I think there's a certain quality to the roughness of doing multiple lines like that. Alright, then the eyes. On the easier parts at least. Oops. Okay, then just clean that up. Now for the hair. I want to be very particular about how I wanted the hair splits. Doesn't need to be fully accurate, but it does need to at least have some similarities. There we go. And then the neck part over here. There we go. Alright, the lips. Wonder what looks better then. Oh, okay, yeah, realistic lips. Just don't need to make it too thin, though. Or too big. Let's just erase a bit of that. Okay, yeah, that's a good compromise, I think. Just gotta tidy that up a little bit more. There we go. This should be a bit more round. Aha, there we go. Then for the eyes, could probably add in the pupils later, to be honest. Okay, so we have that down. Let's see, is there anything I can add to the hair here? tidy that up a little bit. Add in where the vents should be. And voila. Cool. Nope. I forgot about the details in the ear. Oh, wrong layer. There we go. I remember having difficulties with that so much in the past, where I thought I was drawing on one layer, but really it was a whole another layer by accident. Then I have to scramble, just Control Zing all the way. Okay. So this will be my shading layer then. Right. Probably easier to go with the hair first then, no? I feel I can use 3 colors for this. This dark blue, and then switch into the light blue for those parts. Is it you? Yeah, there we go. Question then becomes how to make this unique and stuff. Do I want big bold colors or do I want something more detailed? Worst comes to worst, I can always scale it back, retry certain areas again. That's the beauty of like digital media like this. So if the light's coming in from, let's say, head on, that means this part should be pretty dark then. Therefore, stay with black. Oh, that isn't fully black, is it? All right. Cool. Then we can switch into that lighter blue, or rather that blue. Do a bit of stuff over there. And then, so I don't forget, bit of stuff over here. Don't want to make that part too thick. There we go. And then I believe this vent part should also be kind of like that. Same thing for over here. And then just like that. I need this area to be darker though, in order to contrast, like this back area should be dark too. Otherwise it won't have that much depth to it. You gotta create the illusion of that. There we go. And this will go back. Probably made the hair a bit too long over here, but that's fine. Alright, making progress. Oh, too much. There we go. I wonder how long it's gonna take for her to hit that 1 million though. Should be coming up pretty soon because she was only 15k away or so from like last time I saw her. There we go. Nice and easy. And then a bit of the back over here. Wait a second. Hold on. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Yeah, so then it's this part over here that needs to be darker. So you don't really see too much of the other vent. There we go. It's gonna have that trail off screen, like so. Same thing for these. touch up on the hair a little bit later, because there's some things I'd like to do. That just leaves what to do with the face. Which one was her face color? This one? Or was it... It might have been this one. Hold on. They're about the same, actually. So if the light's hitting from this direction over here, this side should be shaded. So I'll go ahead and carve a lot of my light over here and then gradually decrease it. Especially once we hit the nose over here. I could also just do flats, but I know, maybe that's kind of boring. So then by that logic, this middle part of the neck should be most shaded, and then it'll gradually get darker as you go around. Oh, I forgot the back hair over here. Ah. So really, there should be a bit of hair going down like this. Or maybe... yeah, more straight lines like that. Actually, this should be bright blue. Because these should be the underlights. I'm not sure what to categorize that as. I'm not a hairstylist after all. There we go. Oh no, that's the wrong blue. Ah. It's like her eye blue. There we go. Running a bit low on time, so I really gotta wrap this up soon. That's okay. Worst comes to worst, I just gotta get this done before September 8 or so. Okay. So then back to doing the face. If the light's coming in from this direction, then there should be strong shadow over on this side. And then darkness coming in on the underside over there. Sorry if I'm not communicating too much at the moment. Hey, welcome. To be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. Doing well though, in high spirits. How about yourself? Honestly, I'm just vibing. Like, I'm in the flow at the moment, trying to figure out, like, how exactly to do the shading on this. To be honest, I'm more into doing, like, black and white artwork, but I've been experimenting with color lately, or at least trying to. At the very least. Well, go ahead and mute the music a little bit, because it's a rather short loop. I'm pretty bad when it comes down to ASMR too, but I hope you find my voice relaxing. That and the random, like, scratching noises that you hear from my drawing tablet. You into Hololive, then? You watch any of the livers? Or idols, I guess. Oh, there's always dissatisfaction. Like, there's always a time when it's like, man, I wish I could have drawn that better. Or like, man, I wish I went with this pose instead of that pose. But if you let yourself get weighed down by that, eventually you're just gonna keep hesitating and not drawing at all. Keep drawing. Like, even if it's for yourself, at least you're still able to refine your techniques and all that. It doesn't have to be in front of a big audience or something like that. And then after all of that, you can try to find people who can help you improve or evaluate your art. But what matters even more than that, besides technique, is that you're able to provoke a certain emotion or something like that, right? Like, what's the reason why you draw art or draw art? For me, it's mostly about a matter of commemoration and stuff like that. Like, I've only been drawing for about... Oh yeah, hey, you don't need more than that reason to draw art. Sometimes just gotta do it for, like, the joy of it itself. Yeah. I also apologize if my responses are a little bit weird. I should have probably checked my latency on this, but I wonder if I can still do that. Hold on. Concurrent viewers. Manage. Nope, that was the wrong thing. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Stream latency. Oh, stream settings. Oh, well, I can't change that. Yeah. When it comes down to drawing on stream like this, it's only been... 8 months? So in other words, I'm still very much an amateur when it comes down to this. That said, though, this art style that I'm doing is something that I've always liked. It's just I hadn't had much of a chance to practice it during, I guess, my university days and stuff like that, because, you know, university gets in the way of a lot of things. It took me a long time in order to find, like, the style I wanted, though. Like, I wasn't too sure if I should draw more, like, chibi or realistic. And even then, there's so many people. Oh yeah, welcome to the void. We have snacks here. And I guess drawing cute anime girls and stuff like that. I guess for me, like, streaming is sort of like the reason why you draw art, right? Sometimes just to get some practice in, just because that sort of thing. Sometimes it can be a little demotivational, but I use it as a way to practice public speaking. Hey, you're always welcome here. The void welcomes all. I kind of wish I did more outreach into the community like that. I've been kind of shy about doing stuff like that. I remember reading a few articles though, like on something like Kotaku, about how Twitch, even a few years ago, had all of these streamers, like great setups and stuff like that. Correct OBS stuff, but they had trouble connecting with an audience. And at the end of the day, sometimes it's just like blind luck. For me, with streaming, it's sort of like, to be honest, I just discovered how to use like the correct hashtags on Twitter, like using Vtuber and stuff like that. I should probably be using the Reddit a little bit more, or posting on there, but I guess I'm a bit shy when it comes down to that. Or even like finding the right Discords for that matter. That's mostly on me. I should probably carve this whole thing out and then add in the shading, actually. Otherwise this looks like something for Halloween rather than September. So I got off a bit of an art tangent there. But yeah, community. So my art style is sort of based on lino cut or like wood block carving. And you can sort of see in the way that I'm like, scraping away the black parts over here. With that style, it's a very physical media. Like you kind of have to put a lot of your upper body into getting those real deep cuts so that they would show up white. How do I put it? It's sort of like all the uncut portions, like, you know, what you see in the background over here, would end up, how do I put it? Yeah, would end up appearing black because it interacts with the ink once you know, put it between the ink press. But because this part is carved out over here, the ink won't interact with that. And so it ends up, you know, being white. I decided to take that one step further using digital media and have colors involved like what you see over here. That's led to some interesting results. I know there's some types of woodcut out there that also do it in color rather than black and white. I do want to do some more research into that, to be honest. Like actually see how real wood carvers do that sort of stuff. It'd also be amazing to try that out one day myself, but fortunately I'm just chilling here. I don't have a proper atelier. I've always liked that style though, just because it like, it adds this real gritty, I want to say like macabre pattern to it. Yeah, sort of like hatching. Like with hatching it ends up sort of like this, and then you add in like more, how do you put it? Yeah, like if you want to add in more lighter zones, you add in more hatching layers like that. And then if you want to make it darker, you reduce it and have more space and stuff like that. Which is a cool technique. And definitely adds like a certain, especially for like cotton clothes or something like that. Um, Here, let me show you another piece of art that I did. Just give me a moment. Where is Krita? Just give me... Oh, you know what? I also have this one over here. Which one's my most recent? Yeah, there we go. So you can kind of go beyond hatching. I hope you can see this right now. Ah, there we go. Okay, good. I did this one for Fumoko a while back. And you can sort of see how, by carving a certain way, you can have these, like, gray areas. Indeed, Bao Bao. You can have something as soft as, like, hair or fur, or you could even do something like skin over here, like what you see. The hardest part for this one was, I guess, restraint. Like, you don't want to carve up every little thing, or else it just ends up like too pale. This one took me actually a lot shorter than I thought. There's certain tools in Clip Studio that you can use, like mirrors, like the line mirror, and that can enable you to draw like have some symmetry in here, which was very useful for like the faces and the arms over here. Like the faces over here are pretty much the exact same. What else? Yeah, but having proper restraint, not overdoing it, so that you can allow the viewer to see like the different textures all over. And also not being afraid to keep things simple. Like with the skin tones over here, they're pretty much like pale whites. And that enables for what's called like a lot of contrast between the darker areas and, you know, the brighter areas. No, that's fine. Okay. So when I'm doing stuff like this over here, I could take the easy way and just probably... There's a fill tool that you can use over here. Like, you select a certain area and then fills it in with a certain color. However, my line work is not that strong yet. So, sometimes in the... Oh. Difficult to convey that through digital, since usually texture can get too consistent, which subtracts from the intended focal point. True. I've been trying to scour Clip Studio in order to find like a good background media. If you see over here, well, I guess my head's blocking it, but the default media for Clip Studio is paper, but I believe you can switch that out for things that offer like different textures and stuff like that, whether it's rougher or glossier, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, I've only been using Clip Studio for about 2 months now, so I've mostly been trying to just get a good grip on my technique first before trying out and downloading things. Otherwise, I'm just gonna forget about it, you know? Like, Clip Studio has so many options, and they like offer so many free materials as well, that can kind of seem overwhelming at times. Hence why limitations can sometimes breed new creativity as well. Hatching is specifically positioned in ambient occlusion forming shadows, making distinction between light and shadow easier to the eyes. True. I like hatching though. It's a technique I would like to master eventually. I just got lazy. Shift tab top part. Wait, with the... Oh, I think it should be fine. It's just got the title up there now. Yeah. I know my workspace is a little bit cluttered. That's okay. One thing I'd like to do is like try to draw... Oh, hide everything but cut a reel and layer. Yeah, that would make things a lot more simpler, wouldn't it? Still, for me, as long as I can see the artwork, isn't too bad. Also, I have a really big screen monitor. Oh, if you're not into... Oh, true. Yeah, because this is just a single frame, so I don't really need this one over here. Hey, there we go. Okay, that one was useful. Thanks, man. Yeah, pop-up palettes are godsend. Even the fact that you can like undock things so that they can just float around is so useful. Like I just recently started, like for this piece specifically, using 3D modeling to help me out, like figure out the pose and positioning of different things. And being able to undock that so it's that my left side isn't super cluttered has been so good. How do I want to do this? Hide the window. I'll figure that out. One thing I've wanted to do with my art style is try to create stuff for horror. I feel this would be a really good match for it. Just haven't had the time. Let's see. Subtool and color wheel are the best choice for pop-up palettes. Yes. Sometimes you just gotta switch out colors on the fly. So having that handy is so nice. So convenient. Nope. What I'd like to do is sort out my shortcuts as well. The main ones I mostly have are like erase for sure, and then switching between like pen and brush. I'm sure there's other options for keyboard shortcuts though. Just very lazy when it comes down to that. But that laziness I think is starting to cost me in the long term. What are your favorite shortcuts? Yes. You gotta get like a custom keycap just for Control-Z. Like, definitely the most useful tool. I didn't... Oh yeah. Remove control from shortcut. True. Apparently, like, each... Like, the power of Control-Z varies depending on, you know, how strong your computer is. So, like, if you have a really strong, like, GPU or something like that, you're able to undo a lot more stuff versus a weaker computer. Like, I know, a Chromebook or something like that. Oh, too much. I wonder what to do with the eyes over here. Yes, cursor shape. I haven't experimented with that. Well, I experimented a little bit because this brush that I'm using, this carving brush, I had to follow a certain tutorial online in order to create it. And that's what gives it this, like, grainy sort of texture that you see over here. It's not perfect, but it serves my needs mostly. I haven't tried that too much yet. Actually, yeah, I wonder what tool... subtool settings. Pen, Noda. Should be a way to check what point it uses, right? I'll figure that out later. Probably need to head out, or watercolor board. I might give you a board for each stroke. I've wanted to try out watercolor for a while now. Unfortunately, I just suck at blending colors and stuff like that. Or, like, with digital, it feels a lot weirder to blend colors versus when you're doing it with, like, a physical media or something like that. Watercolor edge on subtool detail menu. Ah, wait, how do I access that? No, that's the palette. That copies this. Modifier key settings? Oh, tool property. Let's see. Little wrench on the bottom right. Subtool delete. Hold on a sec. Maybe I'm just blind. Top window tool property. Oh, yeah, there we go. window tool property. Huh. I wonder why that was hidden like that. Normally it would be docked, wouldn't it? Weird. Oh, that's weird too. I thought I had it like the anti-aliasing here on strong. Interesting. Thanks though. Alright. Seriously though, thanks for that tip. Now I wonder. Subtool detail menu. Right. Yeah, so for this brush in particular, I had to create like a custom tip for it instead of just having it be on circle. Probably not right now. Especially since this is still like a work in progress. Once I post this on Twitter, you can just go ham with like the feedback though. I've got some other stuff on my Twitter as well. Yeah, like feel free to check out my other stuff though. Oh. Don't worry about it. I'll probably be wrapping up. Oh gosh, it's already that late. I'll probably be wrapping up in a few minutes anyway, just because like, I have some other stuff to do later on. But thank you again for coming to the stream and give me those tips. Then tendency of the carving seam line length might result in spots carved not too equal. Or to be too equal to each other, yeah. That's mostly on me for like keeping consistent pressure instead of like, what's the proper term for it? Instead of varying my pressure instead. Like, I probably just need to reconfigure my pad settings, because normally if I press lightly, it'll result in a thinner line like that. and then pressing sharply will result in something like that. Oh yeah, like, usually I go over maybe 1 or 2 times in order to, what's the word for it? Yeah, I usually try it like 1 or 2 times in order to be sure that I have variation in my lines. Because otherwise, yeah, it's gonna end up like being too uninteresting. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Yeah, with hair, it's like having that different in length does add a little bit more feel to it. For the skin, I'll probably need to refine that a little bit more. Well, a lot more, really. I'll figure that out. Hmm. I will also say, like, Crony's face looks so weird just due to, like, the size of her eyes in comparison to, like, the rest of her face. Like, compared to any other Hololive member, like, her eyes are just massive. You can let it be uncarved, yeah. Yep, what a ribbon. Definitely the most interesting part of her character. Okay. Hold on just a moment. I'm trying to remember why I put her eyes. Oh, right, there we go. Yeah, true. Yeah, hatching does emphasize those. Like, people, I think hatching is such an underrated technique because there's so much you can do with, like, the directionality of the lines. Like, it doesn't need to be straight lines all the time like this, like a tic-tac-toe board or something like that, or plaid. You can use the lines to, like, warp around, have that, like, non-Euclidean geometry, create interesting areas. Like that, yeah. Oh my gosh, am I on the wrong layer again? Ah. There we go. Okay. Let's just fix up the mouth a little bit. Make her less of an eldritch horror. A bar style. Haven't heard of that one before, to be honest. So I'll search up later. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'll find that person's name later then. Actually, I have a bit of time right now. Bara. Oh, yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of this person's art before then. It feels like very... How do I put it? It's sort of like the stuff you would see for like a fancy... like a fancy game or something like that. Very clean line work. Yeah, especially that line work with the hair. Anyways, it's getting... It's Jocko. Hold on a sec. Oh. Interesting use of that hatching on, like, the clothes. Yeah, and like, Jocko uses, how do you put it? Like, this person does a good job with the directionality of the lines, as well as like knowing when to make them more dense versus less dense. Curious. Let's see, this one. I should draw Shiori more. I've only done her once, but I've been tuning into a lot of her streams lately. I see. Interesting use of, like, yeah, drawing the textures of the hair like that. And also accounting for the way that light would work too. Well, that gives me a lot to think about, actually. Favorite artist? Not gonna lie, Monet. Back in or a couple years ago, I was mostly into comparing the differences between, like, expressionism versus impressionism, and seeing that the way that Monet was able to create, like, subtle moods through these really intricately, those really intricately colored figures of, like, people or landscapes. Like, yeah, I just love to either tour America or Europe and try to find more of his stuff. In terms of, like, Eastern stuff, Miura, like the author of Berserk, has some really good stuff, along with, he's the one who does Vagabond. Yeah. Monet. Monet. I'm trying to think of who else has some really good artwork. And then in terms of stuff I've been reading recently, I want to say the artwork in Windbreaker, like, these are webtoons, by the way. Windbreaker, which is like the cycling one, as well as something Hunlim Jim. That's it. Oh yeah. Inoue, that's the person who did. Oh yeah. My Hero has some good stuff in there. And even with the action scenes too, like, the dude knows how to, how do you put it? Has a good flow to it. I also want to go back and dissect, like, Dragon Ball, just due to the way that Akira Toriyama does his paneling. Like, it has a very nice flow to it that is very difficult to capture in animation. Like, Chainsaw Man had the same sort of thing too, where the dude uses paneling in order to show how otherworldly attacks work. So just like with, I believe the nail one? Yeah. But anyways, I think that's a good place to wrap up, so thanks again for tuning in and stuff like that. Yeah, and thanks again for the feedback too. I'll try to keep in mind, like, how I can keep my stuff less cluttered, because, how do you put it? Yeah, and maybe looking into more hashing patterns too. Need to add in more textures and stuff. Yep. At the end of the day, it's your art. Same to you. Keep drawing. Keep finding stuff to love to draw. And... oops. Yeah, might as well end it on that. Have a good night. Bring friends, I guess. Although I'll probably mix up with a game or 3D modeling for next time, but that's for next time. So yeah.